Learn to snowboard online with Florian Free Ride.
Let the bass go. Let's do it.
Active absorption is when you're out on the slopes and you're actively lifting your legs up. So if this was an obstacle out on the train, really want to actively lift up and then press down, and lift up and press down. So as I'm going up and over bumps and moguls, I'm actively lifting up, and I'm also moving my hips fore and aft so that if I were to come up to this obstacle and hit it straight on, oh, that's gonna hurt my knee, my leg. So if I can actually kind of lean back and then lift up and then press down over it, and then as I come up over it here and then press down and then actively absorb. I'm up here at Alta, Utah on June 27th, 2019, and there's still a ton of snow around here. The snow is really hard packed though. It's a lot of water content. It's really icy underneath. There's a thin layer of corn snow, kind of slushy on top, but you can see around here, it's like being out on a lake where there's a lot of ripples, but it's frozen in the snow.
Let me assert my firm belief that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
The conditions are really variable. There are a lot of bumps in the snow and it's hard. So you're gonna need to be able to absorb all of these little bumps out here. You might change your style of riding to be more like active absorption. Check out the video on the right corner that talks about active absorption, and that's what we're really going to focus on today, is actively absorbing, lifting our legs up before the bump. So I lift it up and then I press it down and then lift up my back leg and press down. So I'm actively, one leg might be lifting up and one down. I'm really bending, actively absorbing, being really dynamic in my snowboarding. So that's what the drill is today out here in June. It's almost July. It's summer snowboarding in the US up at Alta, Utah. We're gonna go out and rip some lines here, have a good time up here if you're hiking. The snow is pretty dense. The avalanches haven't been so bad because the Utah snow is really light, that it's had a lot of melting and it's just really solid now. So the melting isn't very bad. And like I said, this snow is really dense. It's really easy to make snowballs compressing out like that, and then it's really hard. Break it up. So that's the drill that you want to go out today. Is go out and look around with terrain and try to actively absorb. So when you see these obstacles, the terrain where there's an uphill slope or a bump, you want to actively lift your leg up and then press it back down, so that as you're riding, your legs are actively absorbing you're not coming up and being passive and hitting the obstacle. So if I come up here and don't do anything like what a car would do, a car doesn't actively absorb. It hits the bump and then the shocks absorb. So I want to actively lift up, lean back, get over it, and then lean forward over it, and then press down and actively absorb. So I want you to think about that in your riding. Whenever you're out off-piste or even on groomers where it's nice and smooth, there's sometimes variations in the snow and you want to actively absorb. So let's go out, actively absorb, lifting our legs up, pressing down. We're gonna apply active absorption into our riding today. We're gonna try to not be so passive, and I want you to actively absorb. So as you see an obstacle, actively lift up your leg, and then as you come up over it, press down. See you out on the mountain, mates.
You can sign up for the full course to gain access to all of our snowboard lessons, study guides, textbooks, glossary, tests, and direct feedback from your coach. Learn to ride right with Flowing Freeride.
Let's do it.
Subscribe, comment, and like. Cheers, FFR.